Hey dreamers, welcome back to Life Behind the Dream. I'm Malika.
I'm Ray.
And I'm Stacy.
And today we're going to be talking about the late Nipsey Hussle. He was an activist, he was a father, he was a husband, he was a rapper, he was a mogul, an icon, and it's unfortunate of the passing of his death that woke everybody up. I hope people use his experience or just like his words and his motivation to just do better in the world, end the violence because it's just ridiculous. We're all still trying to process this whole thing and learn more about his death and what he was trying to study for us. Trying to do Dr. Sebi's documentary. I'm not really sure much about his studies. I know he was trying to do health and trying to find cures for African Americans and just cures for all types of diseases throughout the world. And the government, me with my conspiracy theory ass, thinks that they're trying to hide something, so they didn't want Nipsey to relay whatever message that he was about to tell us. And unfortunately, he passed away. But
yeah, that's what I think too.
Yeah,
that's it's a touching situation.
Yeah, skeptical.
Very skeptical. I didn't really know Nipsey too well. I didn't listen to too much of his music per se. I just knew him through the internet, Lauren London, their relationship. He was a good guy to her. He was mad for him. But blessings to their family, and it's just I feel bad for her, his family, his parents, his it sucks because since he passed, it's unfortunately that I looked him up after he passed. It's unfortunate people get attention once they pass, but I did look him up and I was trying to figure out what was what's going on behind it, and I see that Nipsey Hussle was pretty much he had a vision, he was a change. He was an OG, you know what I'm saying? He was a changed man, and he was trying to he definitely gave back to the community, and he was working on his documentary, and in that he was going to mention the Dr. Sebi trial, and I feel that it's definitely government related. Just based off the interviews that I watched. He did one at the Breakfast Club, and he pretty much mentioned it. And for everybody to just think that, from Dr. Sebi, his passing was related to the government, and then just how things rolled up until Nipsey Hussle's death, it just made me assume that it was government related. Even the videos, it just looked, I don't know, it just looked government. The guy could have easily just been paid off, told you're gonna be bailed out. And then I even heard that this person's lawyer is some top-notch lawyer. First I heard that it was O.J. Simpson's lawyer, but then I heard that wasn't the case.
It was his prosecutor.
Yeah, I heard it, but how can my point on that is how can this person afford that? So it's just exactly
because he was a random ass person.
Exactly. So I don't know. It's just very weird. And
I think that I'm kind of half and half, just because the people who were close to him, they came out and said that they knew the person, and the person was a Crip. He was a part of the 60s, whatever. Well, not whatever, but he was a part of the gang basically. So they knew him for a long time. He was someone who they recently labeled as a snitch. So
recent, everything was just coming out of the blue, right? After.
Well, that's the whole reason why I guess things transpired, because he came into Nipsey's store that day, and Nipsey called him a snitch, and he said, "Get out of my store, you snitch," or whatever. He left, came back, and that's when he did what he did. But then there was a version of how he actually dapped up Nipsey, went to get a burger, came back, and then he shot him. So there's a couple of stories surrounding
different
that.
stories.
But I do feel that he was definitely known to them, and people have came out and said that, like, they know him. So he could have been like an informant for the police,
Right.
But
Because then I
don't
heard that
know
he
if
got an
it's-
isolated cell.
Well, that's because everyone wants to kill him. And regarding the lawyer, I think that first of all, it's a high profile case. Like,
Yeah.
in high profile cases, people, well, attorneys and lawyers, they offer to represent people, not necessarily for the money, but for the fame that they're going to get behind it. Because let's be honest, this is a high profile case. So to have your name as the person who is defending this monster, like, you're going to get press, whether it's good press or bad press.
Right.
What do they say?
Right.
What good press is bad press, like bad press. I don't know. Whatever the fuck they say, that's what the fuck he's trying to do. He's trying to get his name out there.
Bad press is good press.
But it's weird because he was also the prosecutor for OJ, so he was
Right.
the person trying to put OJ behind bars. So it's like, why are you defending? Like,
This-
years ago you were the prosecutor,
Right,
now you're
exactly.
the defender. Like, so what are you trying?
Like,
to
things
prove?
are just like, I don't know, it's just really not adding up, and that's why I feel like people should just do their research, you know, continue to be educated, continue to, like, we need to support one another. Like, this is a time where we should come together instead of, like, attacking one another, bashing one another, you know, being disrespectful. Like, we're literally, like, brothers and sisters. And,
Yeah,
like, once
because
people
his death was
understand
so
that, like,
profound.
exactly, like, how it, like, hurt everybody. Like,
Like, we were
People
all
like,
brothers.
didn't
he was,
even
like,
know him.
related
It
to us.
touched
Yeah,
people, like, because it's just
of
the
some sort.
situation itself, like how
Like, that whole
drastic
energy that
and
it had,
how-
it was
I don't
just-
know,
yeah.
it's crazy. But if
Gotta
it
be
is
together.
government related, I just feel, because now I've seen on the internet, Nick Cannon, he's like, oh, he's pretty much gonna take the baton and he's gonna finish off like with Nipsey started. I just feel like he needs to be very careful. And I was reading the comments. I'm like, is anybody gonna tell him to be careful? Because like one person is like, yeah, what she said, B Simone. I love her to death, but she's like, we got you, Nipsey. Like, I mean, not Nipsey. We got you, Nick. You know, we got you, boss, or something like that. Like, okay. And then when he winds up dead, what now? Like, how far do you got him? I don't understand. Like, no, he needs to be careful. Like, if this is the government doing these things, like, the government is not somebody to be fucking with. Like, we just need to use our brains. And for him to go on the internet and say he's going to take the baton, I don't think that is the first smart thing to do. Like, just keep your mouth shut and just do it. Like, just, you have the
'Cause they're
resources,
watching.
you know what
People
you're
are
doing,
watching,
just
you
do
know?
it. And when it comes out, then what can they do? You know what I'm saying?
I
But
feel like
just-
Nick Cannon's gonna be good.
I hope so.
If something happens
Literally,
to him,
seriously.
then that's when you realize,
'Cause
like,
I feel like
something
he's
is
putting
happening.
his
Like,
life and his
whole-
family in jeopardy.
Right. The evolution, the history is repeating itself. But he's already let it be, you know, been known to, like, the public that he's gonna do this, and he has people who supports him. And, like, Nick Cannon is, like, a good artist. Not artist, I guess you could say influencer. Because he's like a host, you know, he hosts TV shows, he's always on.
But y'all can't push
interviews.
people to do things that y'all don't have the balls to do. Because these people that's in there like, yeah, we got your back. How do you have his back? Y'all just want him, like, y'all want him to do it. But it's just like what he's putting himself in is kind of a dangerous situation.
Yeah,
like,
that's
a
why you
man
gotta
just winded
do
up dead
organizations.
for a possible, like, you know, it's very, you can't be pushing people to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, toodles to him if he is all power and almighty. You know, I hope that the truth does reveal, but safety comes first. Your family and your lives come first. So, just do things smart.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so, his funeral, you know,
I know, that was
coming up.
Thursday, the 11th.
And it's gonna
They
be,
had it was in the Staples Center. It was a lot of people there. They had it live. So
It was just like to know that this person, of course, didn't get the recognition that he deserved when he was alive.
Right.
To know that his death had this type
Such
of
an
impact on people, to bring out crowds of people to celebrate him, like, that doesn't happen on accident. It happens on purpose. Like, maybe it is because we're supposed to pick up where he left off as a community, because things are getting bad. If it is really the government, like, we all need to stick together as the minority, really, because, you know,
like,
the
we're not
top
against
1%.
each other. We shouldn't be against each other. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
and
Like,
that's in all, like, everywhere, all cities and states, all hoods.
like, all cities, all states, you know, shout out
Like,
617.
there should be a wake up call that we should be sticking together. Like, that this freaking gang, if it is not government related, like, come on, why take another man's life because you mad? Like, literally, like, come on.
And just mind your business. If you minded your business, you wouldn't have to tell anybody what you know, because you won't know nothing.
Exactly.
Like, so just that will eliminate snitching overall, and just mind your business.
Literally.
That's like the biggest thing, you know?
That's another thing. People need to mind their business. I'm sorry. I'm all thinking about it like, like, just mind your business. Like, everything will be easy.
Shut your
but,
mouth,
like, if you're somebody who's wanting to build and grow with your community, then don't mind your business and come grow with us. You know what I mean? But, like, if you're someone of negative and hater, like that negative energy, mind your business. Then keep that negative energy to yourself.
Into a lot of trouble.
Right. Like, we trying to build over here, trying to stick together, you know, like, what is the whole violence for, shooting over hoods that none of y'all moms probably own no types of house, but you guys are shooting up hoods that you guys are in Section 8 and renting and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
so
like put your money towards, don't play, like, for real. I'm not trying to come at nobody, but it's just like, rather than shooting for what, like, what type of ownership do you have that you're shooting? You know, what type of ownership that you have that you're, like, trying to defend the hood,
make your life worth
make yourself,
And not even shooting, just harming somebody
and
else.
harming, and exactly,
like,
innocent bystanders, and it's
why
just
do you feel the need to
crazy.
attack another person? If you're minding your business, you won't have to do that.
For real. Stay inside. Like, watch Flavor of Love. You know, they got season 3 on YouTube. Like, I've been catching up. Like, you know, there's things to do. Right? Like, relax. It's 2019.
Get a
it's time
job.
to be booed up. Get a job.
Because I know y'all got bills.
For real.
Due.
Bills is due. You know, I know y'all trying to take trips. You know, like, things are happening, things are going.
Y'all trying to buy y'all Gucci
For real.
and Balenciaga.
Right.
That you can because you all up in such and such
and such.
Mm-hmm.
But terrible.
No, but on a serious note, you guys stay safe.
I know. Love one another.
And
I'm all about love.
Be positive. Like, if you don't want parts with somebody, like, go the other way. Like, life has way too much going on in it. And I'm pretty sure each and one of us has way too much going on personally to be dealing and worrying about the next.
And support your friends. Just you know, that's the biggest thing. Like, unfortunately, Nipsey had to pass away, but there are a lot of beautiful men and women who are out here doing the damn thing. So we need to support them. You know, Nipsey had a lot of support, obviously, but he could have had more. So let's give our people more support.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you guys.
Leave comments. Nipsey Blue. Leave some blue hearts for Nipsey.
Yes. Rest in peace. Show love to your community. And peace, love, light.
Thanks for watching.
Boston.
Thanks for watching.